Okay, good morning, guys. Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to explain to us how we can stick our plants. We did cucumber, we did pepper, and we did tomatoes. And along with you guys, this is my own tomatoes. This is my own tomatoes, and if you look at it, it's already at the level of sticking. Then come over, let me show you cucumber. Um, and there's one thing you need to understand. Cucumber is a climbing plant. It's a climbing plant. What we mean by climbing plant, they never have stamina. So they always want to climb. That's why if you come closer, you find out that they produce three different kind of things. Number one is this. This is the flower, or this is the kind of a sunflower. This is what sun beats on for it to be able to photosynthesis to happen. Then you also have this. Look at this. This is what helps it to climb. That's why it's called a climbing plant. This is what helps it to climb. It's called a tendril. It's called a tendril, and a tendril helps it to climb. Then, at this age, if you look already, I'm already having suckers coming out at this edge. So suckers will be coming out at the edge, and in these suckers, that's where you're going to have your flower. So you have your flower for photosynthesis, and we have the tendril for climbing. So cucumber is a climbing plant, but because this one is already attached to together like this, I may now have to use my staking rope to stake it, so it can actually be climbing on this. So I have them lined up here, so they will all be climbing here. Now, but for tomatoes, tomatoes is not a climbing plant, but sometimes it doesn't have stamina by the time it becomes big. Like if you look this side, you will see the tomatoes we have. If you look at it, you're going to see that there is no way this could have been standing if not supported with a staking rope. You can see that it's supported with a staking rope. So without the help of this staking rope, there is no way it could have actually been standing. But it's not a climbing plant. It's not a climbing plant at all. You understand? But sometimes, at some point, when it's carrying too many fruits, you find it difficult to remain standing. And if you look at them here now, you can see that these ones are still standing firm. You can see it's still standing firm. But at some point, you find out that the weight will become bigger for it, that you may not be able to continue to stand. Unless if you keep taking out the top leaf. You understand? So that's why we stake it. Then for our pepper is still in the nursery. If it's actually planted on the soil, can actually stands on its own. But sometimes if we are doing it on a bag, the weight will actually pull it down. So we also advise you stake your pepper too. So what we're doing in this video today is to show you how you are going to stake. Now for you to stake, you will need a staking tray, a staking rope. You understand? You can get that in the market. I think it's sold for 200 or 500 naira. But this, I have a bigger one because I'm a farmer. So I use this a lot. I bought this for 15,000 naira. Before I finish this, it's going to be a whole lot of work. Okay, so I have my staking rope and I have my scissors. So all I need to do is, let's say I get the length that I want. Already, if you look up here, I have a binding wire. I didn't use a rope for this because by the time the pressure of this thing start adding on it, it will start dropping. But with a binding wire, it will still remain firm. So the first thing I do is I pass a binding wire through the top of all my plants. That's why I always advise you don't scatter your plants. Maintain a lane. That's why if you are farming, we do a bed so that staking will be easy for us. Do you understand? So you make your plants lined up, not scattered, so that staking will be easy for you. So now, what we do next is this: we are now going to stake. How do we stake? When you come to the, you will come to the stem. When you come to the stem, watch how I'm going to tie this. I'm going to tie this the same way we tie things so that we can draw it or adjust it. That's the same way I'm going to tie this. Look at it. I just place it like this and I pass it under and I draw it. So with this pattern, I can actually adjust. I can adjust. Can you see that? I can adjust. So that is how we stick. So now, but now getting to this, if you look at what we have there, you can see how big the stem is. This is still small. I'm not going to make it too tight because if I make it too tight, as it's getting bigger, it's going to be discomforting this plant or it's going to be giving it wound. So I'll make sure I leave a little space that can contain this even when it's getting bigger. So if I'm okay with this, if I feel this is okay, based on the size of the stem of a big tomato, like what you are seeing here, I think what we have here is okay. So what I'm now going to do next is I'm going to now pass it through. But let me just quickly cut out what I will be needing. So I have this already. So what I'm going to do now is I'll start passing it through the branches. I'll start passing it through the branches. I'll start passing it through the branches. So I also want you to know that when you're reading any agricultural book and you hear things like trellising, trellising is also talking about staking. So if you don't hear staking, you could hear trellising. They are all saying the same thing. So what we are trying to do is to stake our plant, and staking plant is all about giving it support so that it doesn't fall. So right here, I've done that, right? So the next thing I'm going to do now is to now tie it to the binding wire. But now I also want to create a room for adjustment should in case this is becoming uncomfortable for the plant, I can actually adjust it. You understand? So for me to do that, I'm going to fold it this way. Bring it closer so that people can see it. I'm going to fold this way, and look at what I just did. I just created an adjuster before I can now hold this up. I just created. Let me do it again. Maybe it will help you. Now, though you can always take it back. This is a video. Look at what I did. Watch the way I'm keeping my hands. What I'm creating here is an adjuster. I just created an adjuster. So with that, I will now do what? Tie it also the same way I did for the other one. So I'm done. So with this, I can actually use the adjuster to now adjust it and make it firm. You can see what I'm doing. So you can see that. So this is trellising. So I've given this the support that it needs. Nothing will make this plant fall again. So it will remain straight. And all I need to be doing, as it's growing, I'll be coming to be moving it around on this plant. As it's going up, I'll be coming to move it around on this plant. So it will continue to grow like that. This is what we call staking. And in staking, we have different types of staking. There's what we call basket staking. By the time these things keep growing now, they'll start having they'll start having branches, which is produced through suckers. Like look at this. Look at this. You can see this is where it was straight. This one went this way. This one went this way. This one went here. This same one that is went this way come here. Another one went like this. And that one went like this. And coming up again, you find that that's the way they keep spreading. So with basket staking, you can actually achieve that. Look, I think I did basket staking somewhere in this. This is what we call a basket taking. I actually attached a branch to the main line. Look at it, I attached a branch to the main line. So this is a branch that is going off here. I have to attach it to the main line. So like I said, as the plant is growing, you will now be doing your adjustments. You will now be doing your adjustments, just be tying it round like what I'm just doing right here. Just be tying it round. Okay? Just be tying it round, that's just it. So these things will continue to have branches. They will continue to have branches. The more branches they have, the more food they give to you. Thus, will continue to proceed. I'm also going to let you understand that the more branches they have, the more children you are having to battle for the small food you are giving to them. And what does that mean? That simply means you may not have big fruit. So we don't always allow all the branches to grow. But when the time for that comes, I'll explain it. Today we are just doing staking, and I want to believe that what I just showed you have explained staking. So guys, go and do your own staking if your plant has gotten to the stage. Now, at what stage do you stake? For if you look at this, you can see that this thing has stamina. It is still standing firm, but I can choose to stake at this point. I can stake at this point for cucumber, right? Don't wait until it start falling. Sometimes it may fall when you are not there, and it can pick some disease from the soil. So don't wait for it to start falling. So once you start seeing at least three or four leaves, three or four leaves, true leaves, not the first leaf. This one, this two, this three. And that one is coming out here. This one, this two, this three. You can now stake. Why I'm not staking this is my plans is to roll it to this place. And once it start producing that, you see now it will start bringing out the tendril. Look at this, the tendril is already coming out because he knows there is need for it to be staked at this point. So the tendril is now coming out. So I can actually stake them for tomatoes. Your tomatoes, it can continue to grow. It can continue to grow and it will still have stamina. But for me, at this point, I prefer to stake them so that even if I'm watering them, because at this point where it is now, this tomato is, by the time you are watering it, especially if what you are watering it has pressure, it's likely going to fall because the roots is not well established at this point. It's still having very tender roots, so it can still bend at this point. So for me, once your plant has gotten to this point, once your tomatoes has gotten to this point, I think you should trellis or you should stake them. Okay, thank you. I wish you guys all the best in your farming journey, and I'm sure you are finding this program interesting. And I bet you, I know you're going to have a lot of challenges, but you surmount them, you come out stronger. But the good thing is, you will be feeding your home with very fresh food from your farming or from your backyard. Thank you guys, and let's continue the journey.